Sul Sul, Nomad Simmer here. Welcome to another video. Actually, this is going to be a bonus video outside of the regular schedule, but I wanted to thank my lovely 10 subscribers, which we are the 1%, if you know what I mean. Wink wink. So this was a preview of the new build that I went ahead and did for New Crest. I felt like my legacy family needed a uh, more neighborhood families around. So this is initially how this all started. I wanted to add a family with a grandparent in the home. Um, so then I went on to Pinterest to look for ideas, and this is what I found. And I said, let's do it. Why can't? What's gonna be so hard about it? And boy, was I wrong. I mean, anybody looking at that photo would probably know I was wrong, but it just gave me those gnome vibes, and I love it. Which that's kind of what I also called the build. So if you catch that, that's basically where it came from. So the whole concept here was just to make a house and put in this family dynamic. I wanted to be not infants. I wanted to be sort of like someone already in the middle of a storyline. I didn't exactly know uh, that this was gonna end up where I'm at right now, but I also didn't know that this was going to be as difficult as it is due to the roof situation. So I'll give you a fair warning. Beginning now until pretty much, uh, I don't know, 10 minutes prior to the end of this video, it's all gonna be about roofs almost. I know it sounds so bad. I don't know if it's probably gonna be boring, and I'm sorry if it is gonna be boring. I don't know if this is gonna be helpful for someone else. Um, I don't know why I decided to show all the parts of my roof journey, but it just is what it is, and I guess I wanted to remember how painful and time consuming this was. And again, that's why we're here. I don't know if I'll be going to Pinterest or anywhere anytime soon for some inspiration aside from just winging it when I am in game, because when I was in game and I didn't know what I wanted to build, I told myself, let's go on Pinterest and find something. I found something, and then this took me on a 12 to basically almost 24-hour journey that I did not expect. So I'm a bit traumatized. But I do have a lot of love for this house, and all this time that I've taken learning and deleting and putting on roofs and deleting and putting on walls and so many tutorials I've watched so far. I I don't want to get into it, but I might get into it about my roof rent here. But I don't want to get into it because I do want to speak on the fact that I did have enough time to think about the background of the story dynamic of who I want to be living in this household and who I want to be growing in this household. So at this point here, I still was not sure where this was going to end up. I just know that I wanted a family home. So I wanted to just start it. So I went on to Pinterest. I got this gnome looking idea. And it wasn't until when I finally got indoors that I realized that I'm lacking a bit on proper space for a lot of the things. For example, I think I might have to come back in here and build a basement for a laundry room, for a gym room, and any other things we might want. Just because this diagonal triangular looking house really limits us with how much space we are given. Also, I've had enough time to think what kind of background story I wanted here. So initially, I was coming from kind of a sad place where it's a widowed grandfather who has just recently lost his wife, and they were both, I guess, living in a nursery home, but this house was being rented out, but it was in their name. So now they were coming back to this family house, but it's coming back as the grandfather with his son and his um, daughter-in-law and his two grandchildren. So I've gotten that far to the fact that that's the people that I want to be living here. So for that, I know that I needed a grandfather bedroom. I needed the kids' bedroom. I needed the bedroom for the parents. So that's 3 bedrooms right there. So you'll soon see here the layout where um, I really thought that it would be neat to put the parents in the attic. I thought that I can give them like a spa private getaway from the children and from the household with this attic bedroom. And my vision was just not coming together with what I had to make it happen. Oh my god, none of that makes sense. But basically, I just wanted to do it a certain way, and doing it that way was not easy peasy. For example, as you can see here in the video, the, this roof clipping and the way it would clip into the rooms, and the way it wouldn't hang properly, and then the way it would be too short, and the way that eventually you'll see that I wanted and did add a sunroof open window look, and that also took me forever to figure out how to do. I had to watch so many tutorials, but I was really, really, really determined, and I mean, I succeeded, as you'll end up seeing. But I was really, really determined for these parents to have this attic getaway, because they'll also have um this round upstairs balcony that you'll see here. So they'll have access to the entire house and neighborhood, basically, because eventually I'll also be adding a front porch, just because of the whole roof situation. I figured that the porch would um, make my leaf make it easier for me to change the color of the wallpaper, because apparently you can't change colors of the wallpaper and the walls if they're all connected. It's if it wasn't one problem, it was the other, is all I can say. But now as I'm watching the video back, I'm glad that it's going along, and the pace is not as slow as I felt it has been. So here we're doing the front entrance, and no, we're right back to the roof. I just I've deleted so many roof footages, because it's just me deleting and copying and pasting and copying and pasting and undoing and redoing, and basically what you see me doing here. I had watched a tutorial that told me to basically break up the roofs side by side like this, because I also wanted to do the sunroof look, which I did, and you will see. But I don't want to spoil too much until the end. But this doesn't look too bad. It's the fact, and I don't even know what I'm trying to say right now, because I am flabbergasted and shocked at how many times I thought I was done this build, and one little scooch, one little adjustment, one little thing, and I was not done. And I had to go watch other tutorials, and I had to go figure out how I could make this work. And that right there is very important. Make sure you save your games. You're going to be seeing me saving this game so many times, and that's already aside from the times that I did not include in this video that I just edited and cut it out. But I don't understand the concept of the roofs having to be so hard. But see, this looks this looks good. And I don't know why I went and touched it. Well, I do know I went and touched it because I want functionality in these homes, because I am playing in these homes, I am building households for these homes, and I need these homes to be functional. So I can't just have 5,000 walls everywhere because I have 5,000 roofs everywhere. So as soon as I thought I had the outside figured out with the roof situation, I tried to go inside to see what it would look like, and what a nightmare. So I'm just gonna let you watch a bit while I take some hydration breaks here, and I suggest you go take a break, get some water yourself. This part, I feel like this part is important in the build and in the whole functionality thing that I was saying, because this tree house that we just got from growing together is, um, as you can see there, the squares go basically up until my wall and my balcony, my deck outside. So I am going to fix that so that they can have some space. And I truly, truly, I have my fingers crossed, hope that when I finally get the household that I want to get in here, that this tree house is usable and buildable, because this thing is massive, let me tell you, especially on a lot like this. I think this is a 30 by 20 lot. This thing is absolutely massive, so I truly hope that it's still they can build even though it's as tight as it is. And I adjusted the house with just that little back piece, but you'll see later on that that little back piece is basically what has caused me to have a hole in the ceiling. So I have to go back in again and adjust these holes that I randomly have on the ceiling. What I did learn is that just by clicking these random holes, I find these random rooms that it creates, and I just go ahead and trash it, so that I finally figured that out. Wish I had figured that out way quicker in here. And I'm so excited for these bikes. I put every single bike on the lot, and then I think as I kept editing and adding more things on, I questioned myself why I had so many bikes when I'm truly thinking to only have 2 children and the 3 adults. But you know, I just wanted to see what they all look like. So eventually I will delete some. See, is that a hole? Okay, no, that's for the stairs. Yeah, there is a hole in the front. So here I watched a tutorial that said you press button A, B, and C, and D and it creates the room layout. So if it creates the room layout, it should recognize the roof on top. So if it recognizes the roof on top, it won't be clipping. Oh, and I think as you can see, that's not the situation here. So I think I went with the half walls on the side, and that's pretty much what I still have now, is half walls. Because for me to also see the cracked sunroof that basically acts like a window, um, I that's the only way that it has to be. So as you can see right here, this window looks like a perfect, this window thing looks like a perfect, um, just looks perfect. And I'm just so sad, and that's not it. Like that's I go in and I remove all of this. I don't remove all of it, but it ends up being deleted and I have to end up doing it again. I don't know if I like it better than how it looks right now, to be honest with you, but I just couldn't get it back to this again. And it has to do with that little room that I had up top there. But let me tell you, the when I got the loft layout set up, I I was not gonna screw around with that anymore. So once the inside was ready to go, the outside just has to suffer with what it is. This is that part where I watched the tutorial about making the room, and the room should account, the room walls should account for covering the roof. And then I did this little slot thing like that, which honestly, I didn't mind it. Maybe I should have left it because how much work. This little glitch here, but I'm basically just, I wanted to check out what it looked like. So this is the balcony in its raw form, no, or half paint walls, I guess. Paint walls, panels. And then this is what it looked like, which it looks okay. And I don't know if right now it looks like this, to be honest. I don't think the end I don't think how I left it at the moment looks like that. But I think at that moment is when I said, that's good enough. So let me go outside and start working on the landscaping. And that's when I saw that little gazebo area. And while I thought we had gazebos that looked like in that picture from Pinterest, this one just worked out better because right away I thought having a swing set under it would just make perfect sense. One of my favorite parts when it comes to builds is during the landscaping area. I'm not sure if you can catch a sneak peek on the left there, but that's the Plum Bob challenge that the Sims put out, I think, sometime last year. And again, I went crazy on the outside with the nature, with the landscaping and all that stuff. So that's just something I do spend a lot of time on, and I love spending a lot of effort and attention on. Again, I can't believe that we are back on this roof doing something that we had done before. And see, it does not look as good as it did before, and it'll never look as good as that first time. I'm telling you. I oh, it's so sad. It's so sad. Even those sunroof half walls, half window things, they do not look how they are looking right now as we are watching in this moment. The final video will not look like that, and that's slightly sad. Here again, I go and try to make just a room um, so that the roof would somehow recognize it, and it didn't. So I thought it would be clever to go in and just make the roof bigger. So I made the top roof bigger, but then I added another. I don't know. Did I add another room here, I didn't add another room, but it did add another sort of length height. So you can see here, I had to adjust that. Doesn't really make sense. But I thought, hey, if that's the case, I'll just go ahead and put a deck in the back. I'll put a deck here connected sort of to this fireplace somehow, and it's just decks all around. I don't really know what to tell you. It's good to keep an eye on the whole family and the house and the neighborhood, and you just have access to the outdoors anywhere you are. And the upstairs attic is supposed to be like the sanctuary for the parents, so that would include all the balconies all around. Because that rounded balcony on the side there, that princessy looking thing, I definitely want to make that into like a seating and eating seating eating. It's wow. Definitely like an area for eating outside. And then in the front, I just want to do that for like a Sunday coffee lookout. And then the back can just be like a chill out, so you can get a tan, but also like you're watching everybody. We're also relaxing. You can read a book in the back balcony. It's just all around. It's all good vibes, and I just think the parents deserve this attic room. And I think this also comes with the story of these parents are taking on a lot with, they decided to take on this house. Well, as I previously mentioned, the house was basically up for renters were living in this house previously, while the grandpa and the now deceased grandma was living in a nursery home. And it feels so weird to say that because we're talking about gaming characters here, right? But it's so weird to talk about characters are just, I guess I don't want to say individuals because they're not individuals, but it's just our brain thinks that they're individuals, but they're not individuals. Anyways, let's move on. So it's a little bit sad, but it's also a lot on these parents that are taking on this brand new responsibility of this entire house, possibly a mortgage. I'm not sure. I haven't gone that far. Um, they're uprooting their children who were in school in God knows which dimension they were living before this. But they're taking on a lot, and I wanted to make sure that they had their own little sanctuary. I don't think I need to explain more than that. Everybody deserves their own sanctuary of a bedroom or of a floor so that they can get away when they need to, especially from the world. I really looked this layout of how this looked here. I really like that big window there, but again, we couldn't. This just couldn't stick, just for the fact that the wall situation. Just to think that so much has changed. I mean, not that much. Just the whole. Here I go again, back into this whole wall, trying to fix this and trying to choose which wallpapers I can use. And I'm slightly frustrated that I'm limited to the siding of the outside to the inside. Like, I don't understand why I can't click shift or control and it'll just color the inside walls, even if it's the ones being used for the roof. Just I, I don't see me going to color my ceiling in real life, and that automatically changes the roof outside, right? I would have to get myself on a fucking ladder and change the roof colors out there. So I don't understand where the disconnect happened with this little feature, but it just, is it really that hard? Or is it just something that has not been thought about? So here again, I go and watch another tutorial about fixing the ceiling situation, and then I learned about the edges of the room. Apparently, when they light up yellow, that you can remove or put ceiling. So that has helped. Also going forward, that has helped me adjust when I lose parts of the ceiling, which I don't understand. I think it's when I put these slanted parts of the roof, it cuts out other parts of the floor or wall. I don't know what happens. Like I wish I did. I just also wish we had easier, like a window to put on the roof. If you were to go back and check the photo from Pinterest, it just has like a sun roof window. So if I had just a sunroof window that I could just put on the roof without having to adjust all these edges and whatnot, basically, that you're seeing here again, which again, this looks good, but it does not look like that in the final product. It is very interesting to see how much it has changed and the techniques and methods. And once again, go ahead and save before you forget. So I think I had given up on that part, or I basically got it, it seems. So I went ahead and just moved on because this, at this point, let me tell you, at this point, this has been over 20 hours of just trying to work on that roof. So I go and try to line up that fireplace, and I made that fake fireplace box on the outside that everybody apparently seems to do. And I go back in and I check how this parents' attic room is looking. And you know what? It's looking better, or it's looking as good as it'll ever be. So at this point, I also decided, let me go and finish the landscaping. So I go outside and I adjust the pool area, and I add all these trees. Half of these trees are custom content. I have recently downloaded some custom content with a lot of plants in it, and I'm in love. I love all those plants and chef's kiss. I just love it. So I go ahead and make this little pool area. I hope that, again, this is probably in the mindset that this house has been rented out, and maybe before the house was rented out, the grandpa lived in here with the grandma before they went and lived in a nursery home. And maybe this is also where the son grew up, so this house is very much loved. And you know it's just been a family home for many years, so the swing set maybe it's just something that's been around for a long time. These are all possibilities that just make sense as I was building this house. I actually don't remember if I've mentioned how much I love doing landscaping, and I definitely lost track of time of when I was doing the landscaping here. I just love adding a whole bunch of plants on top of each other because basically, I mean, to me, that's realistic. A lot of the times, you do have a lot of plants on top of each other in a garden like that. Um, And then in between here, I thought it would just be appropriate to do like a lounge sitting area for the children. So I also envisioned this to be a cool sitting area. So when the children become teenagers, this is where the teenagers can hang out. Maybe when the parents are having some barbecue parties on the deck with other neighborly townies. Um, then the children and the teenagers can be hanging out on the side here. I mean, this is kind of like my dreams. I would envision just growing up in a backyard like this. I would love it. You don't need that much space, but to me it feels very lived in and cozy and loved and functional at the same time. You have all these sitting areas, all these toys, all these activities, the lights, everything just looks so appropriate. Now, as I'm watching myself build all this children related stuff, I just also find it very funny that this is kind of the second home that I have built around specifically for families and with children related activities and toys and areas just for families. And hold on, I haven't had children in them. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. But basically, I did the February mansion for Newcrest because I wanted to do, as we all know, Newcrest is very empty. So I wanted to start building in Newcrest. And yes, I do have a mod for how the worlds look different, but I still have a bunch of empty lots to put things in. So I wanted to start building a new crest, and I thought, hey, why not? Let's put my legacy family in there and let's start building in there, and let's get ready for the expansion pack, for the infants update, and for the growing together expansion pack. Well, I got that house ready, I got the couple ready, but technically when I go and play, I feel like I don't want to rush the Noelle and Owen to just get married and have a kid just for the sake that there's a pack upgrade. That's also kind of why I'm not playing in Sequoia, whatever it's called. Um, just because I already had an idea and a goal and a plan to go ahead and build Newcrest. So I thought I would just focus with that, but add in all these new parts that we got from growing together and explore all these updates just in Newcrest. I don't, I mean, again, I see so many videos of so many people already building and playing in Sensequoia, and I do have to visit, and that will be something that maybe this family will be doing as a family trip to Sensequoia. Maybe it'll be a date idea for Owen and Noelle, but for building wise, I just kind of want to focus on Newcrest and finish up Newcrest and move on to something new. I I I don't necessarily know where any of the gameplays are gonna go or any of the storylines are gonna go at the moment, but we do have the rags to riches that I basically haven't touched in like a month since I found out about this update that I wanted to be ready, and I got the mention ready in February. And then I've been playing with Noelle and Owen this whole time and building the relationship. And yeah, just have not gone back to Rags and Riches challenge and played that. Hopefully she's doing okay. I actually do wonder if she continues to make money or if she continues to do anything with her life, or does the game just pause? Because I know sometimes I do go back in game and they've put on weights and stuff like that. So it's I never truly know when their autonomy levels are on and off and working full mode or not. Quick fact here I wanted to also mention is this red shelf hack. This is also a mod. These will be linked down below in the description. And if I do forget to mention some in the description, feel free to just leave a comment and ask me. Sometimes this can be a lot to be on top of between all the custom content and the mods and the titles and the thumbnails. And I am just letting you know that it can be a lot. But as you possibly saw there's this whole trick with the red shelf where apparently if you click on it and you hold it down with your mouse cursor down or something and you can move it, like I was able to do it for the top shelf, but I wasn't able to do it for the middle shelf. So what I also did was I just moved the shelf with that little trick of um, holding down the alt key. So I just moved the shelf aligned with the other shelf and I put it invisible. So I'm really thankful for that invisible option because I would have been stuck. Because having the patience to properly drag the item out, it doesn't happen for me. I I don't know. But I am very thankful for that mod. I'm thankful for other mods that definitely make this game and building a lot easier. I If I ever had to go back, if it was like the end of the world opportunity or chance and only chance, and I had to go back with no mods, I I think I would struggle. I would definitely struggle. But has anyone been keeping track of how many times I've saved so far? I don't think I've actually saved as much on a build as I have this one. And I think the main reason is how fast my laptop was going and I was afraid of it crashing. So anytime that I heard the laptop kind of pick up on the speed, I would instantly go and save. And I think the other part is because I was doing this build and I was taking screenshots, I did have the reshade on and off very often. And having the reshade on and off, which you might see here, I think there's going to be some build parts that I accidentally forgot to turn the reshade off. So the coloring might be different. It's because of that, but the reshade makes my laptop sound like it's a jet taking off to a beach that I am not in or going to. So that's kind of the reason, really, the reason. And I also wanted to have the opportunity. I mean, I don't have anything to say about it because clearly I have CC and like I have custom content, so I don't mind the fact that sometimes EA makes things harder. So I do go ahead and just get to see the CC and make my life easier than just complaining about it. But basically, you're going to see me here use or try out some parts of that 3-part plant, or is it 4-part plant that they put together and people went crazy begging them to separate it. And I understand, understandably, it is like you should not have it together. Like there is a rug that I saw, like the children's rug. It's like 3 rugs together, and they're ginormous. And I think it would be perfect to have them stacked up like that, but individualized so that I can maybe do a smaller area, but still have them stacked up, just for the sake of it's a kids area, and one too many blankets or one too many rugs is really not going to hurt anybody. But this little trick here, I just basically did the whole three three plant set, but on my own with the alt key, and in my opinion 100% looks 5,000 times better than what EA provided us with the whole grouped up items. But that's why I'm thankful for the opportunities, because at the end of the day, EA is the one that also makes this possible. They allow us to use the alt keys. They allow modders and modding, and it's just, you know, you gotta play with what you get. And we have a lot of CC out there, and we have a lot of modding out there, and we have a lot of awesome opportunities to make this game way better, or more realistic, if you don't want to use the word way better, but more realistic and more authentic, or more you. Also, that sound is so off, but sometimes I do, like in this instant, just unclip the sound from the entire video, and I'll use that while I cut and speed up certain other parts. And that's why you'll end up with sounds that are not really aligned, but I really like the sounds from the music, so I wanted to keep the music from the game going while I'm editing here. I love this shot. This just screams family and, like grandparents. And then this area here just screams like the grown up area, and the area that you kind of can't wait to grow into when you're a kid, because it just looks so sophisticated, and that's where the adults hang out. But you're really missing nothing. You're just excited about new chairs and clean tables. I thought and still think that these will look so cute when you're doing your gardening, but as I was adjusting them, I did start wondering if they're from like a funeral home, because they kind of look like funeral home type of um flower ornaments. But you know what? It is what it is. I really like it just dripping over the flower bed there. I think it's gonna be perfect if you're gardening. It's gonna be perfect all around. And then I really loved this front porch area here. I mean, everything about this property, I ended up spending a lot more time than I thought I would be spending in, because everything needed so much attention, so much love, and everything turned out so perfectly good. Like, I don't know if you can notice all the cameras around. Oh, I forgot to mention. So the father, no, the the I don't know what to name them because they don't have names. So there's gonna be the grandfather, right? And then his son. So uh basically, yeah, the granddad's son, which now is going to be married to his wife and had his own two kids. He is basically like some sort of tech person, so this is why all the cameras are around, because he's totally into tech, and he has to have all the latest cameras and all the latest electronics. And I'm pretty sure his children will be taking after him. At least one of them will be. So finally here we get starting to layouts, and this here you can see where I'll have the kitchen, the dining room area, the stairs with, well, I'll put some activities things there, and then the living room next to the entrance. And then on the second floor here you'll see the grandpa's bedroom with the ensuite bathroom that'll be going into the roof, and then there's the bathroom that's going to be shared bathroom for the kids' bedroom, the laundry area, and the kids' playroom. And then you go upstairs to the loft where you'll see the parents' bedroom with their ensuite bathroom also, and then all the bedroom balconies. So I knew that before I could actually say that this was finished, I had to go ahead and divide the layout appropriately for all the rooms that I was going to make. Because I think once I put the rooms and I put the stairs, I think at that point it's really truly down to the decorating, and I don't think I need to change anything to do with the structure here. Now that stairs there on the first floor, if you took that in, they are wrong according to the layout that I had written. I will be changing them, but I have to admit I actually also really liked the stairs on the wall like that. So I think on my next build, I'm gonna do the stairs going up to the side of the wall like that. We're not looking at it at the moment. I don't know if we're gonna be looking at it anytime soon, so it's kind of hard to explain it. But you'll see it in a future build, and then I'll be able to reference it in this video. So on the second floor, I'm just finishing up the grandfather's bedroom. There you go. And then this is gonna be the kids' room in the back here, and they're gonna have their own activity slash playroom to the side. So that can be either a playroom for them to share if they're kids. I haven't figured out what age I'm gonna make them. I know I definitely want to explore teenagers in this household, but I think I also want to go through the whole, maybe they're children, maybe they're in school. I'm not sure. It's hard for me to commit to something like that so far ahead, especially when in game anything can happen, and I'd rather go with the flow and not make too many promises. Just like the promise of me dropping this bonus video at 4 p.m. on Sunday, and it is now 3 in the morning. But I am glad that this video is finally dropping and we are nearing the end. I'm selecting the traits for this home, which it will be the breezy winds. It's homey, it has great Wi-Fi, and it's in the teen neighborhood, and it also has plenty of natural lighting. I know you can't see that much natural lighting around here, but I think once you go in, you'll be able to see all that natural lighting. And if you see all the little glitches between the lights in the screen or the graphics, that's because the reshade is coming on and off while I'm turning it on and off because I'm taking screenshots. I think here I might have forgotten to turn it off actually. But we're just finishing off this balcony looking area here, so that when I do take the screenshot, it doesn't look so weird. And I again have to go back and fix this part of the roof because that's when I had a hole in the roof. So I had to go fix that hole in the roof because I didn't want to go and start building things and then it's just, is it gonna rain in there? Is it gonna ruin my things? I don't want to find out. And just like that, we are reaching the end of another video. I am so grateful for you for being here, and let me know down below in the comments how you feel about this build. I don't know, would you do something different? Do you have any roofing tricks for me? Whatever it is, let me know down below. As long as you're spreading kindness and love, that's all that matters. So I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you sharing your time with me, and I hope you come back next Sunday to watch the newest episode, which might be Owen and Noelle going on that McDonald's date. It might be the household build or the create a sim for the household that will be living in this house, or it might be the indoor decoration for this house. The possibilities are quite endless. I actually don't know which one is going to be next Sunday's video yet, but I am not out of options. And if you have any suggestions, of course, let me know down below. Once again, thanks for watching.